Hello, welcome to the Faculty of Life Science virtual celebration event for our final year students, the class of 2021. My name is Professor Jeremy Tavare and I am Dean of the Faculty, and it's my real pleasure to welcome you all today. We're here together in this virtual space when, of course, we really expected to be welcoming you to your graduation ceremonies in person this month. Instead, we're together online to take this opportunity to celebrate the completion of your time with us. As you will have heard, this is not a virtual graduation event. You'll all be invited back to celebrate your awards when we're able to safely hold them. But we do hope that today gives you a chance to reflect on your time living and studying at the university and in the city, and to look to your future. I know personally, and my colleagues know this as well, that this is not the year, or should I say even 18 months, that you were expecting in your university education. But I do want to take the opportunity to thank you for your enormous patience and resilience. It's been immensely difficult for you all, and I know you've put a lot of effort into your learning and examinations. I'm immensely proud of the way you did this, as I am of my brilliant academic and professional services staff who've worked tirelessly to support you to the very best of their amazing capabilities in such difficult circumstances. If I were to give you any advice, it would be to encourage you to reflect on the fact that if you can cope with the last 18 months of challenges that have come your way, then you're well prepared to cope with much of what will come your way during your future working lives. You will also leave Bristol with some lifelong friendships. So some 10,000 of our students, both undergraduate and postgraduate, are finishing their studies at Bristol in 2021. And today we celebrate you, our students from the Faculty of Life Sciences, who have studied for many years across our departments of biological sciences, biochemistry, cell and molecular medicine, physiology, pharmacology and neuroscience, and psychological sciences. I warmly welcome all of you. I'd also like to give a warm welcome to our guest speakers today, Sir Paul Nurse. He is Chancellor of the University of Bristol and a life scientist himself and a Nobel Prize winner. Sebastian Key, a final year psychology student. Ria Singhal, founder of EcoWare and an alumnus of the School of Pharmacology. And finally, we are joined by some of our faculty staff and many familiar faces. I think they're going to wave at you now. Little wave, everybody. That's it. Lovely. Grand. Okay. So before we get started today, just a few housekeeping notes for you and what to expect for the next hour. You'll see that for students and staff on the webinar, the chat function is open for you to use. Please do take the opportunity to thank staff and friends and to celebrate and reminisce, but please do use this responsibly, and remember this is a celebration event for everyone. If you'd like to submit a question for Ria, you can do so via the Q&A box below, and the event is going to be recorded to share with those who are unfortunately unable to join us live. You will see that you have some pre-submitted messages before the event. These will also be shown again at the end of the event, and if you haven't had a chance to submit a message, you can do so now via the link in the chat. And if you want to use any social media during the event, please use hashtag Bristol Class of 2021. We're delighted to have BSL interpreters Harry and Connor with us today. Thank you very much for being with us. So first of all, I'd now like to introduce the Chancellor, Sir Paul Nurse, to address you.
Hello, as you just heard, my name is Paul Nurse and I'm Chancellor of the University. And it's a real pleasure for me to congratulate all of you who are graduating this year, the Bristol Class of 2021. You will have worked hard to get your degree, so very well done. Be proud of what you have achieved. Today is a time to celebrate that achievement, to reflect on your time at Bristol, to share a few words of advice as you embark on the next stage of your life. But today's proceedings are not a substitute for your in-person graduation ceremony, and as you heard, we hope to provide that for you as soon as it is safe and practical to do so. This is also a time to thank those who have helped you get here: parents, relatives, partners, supporters, friends. They will have supported you in all sorts of ways and will be proud of what you have achieved. Thank the university too, your teachers and everyone else who all contribute to the university and will have helped you during your time as a student. But I particularly want to praise you, the class of 2021, for how you have coped with this COVID pandemic. Despite disruption to nearly every aspect of daily life, you have continued to work in pursuit of the knowledge and skills needed to obtain your Bristol degree. Your success over this period is a testament to your individual resilience and adaptability. And many of you have shown care, support, and compassion to those around you. You've supported food banks, developed online education resources, fundraised for good causes, supported vulnerable members of our community and local charities dealing with the impact of the pandemic. This support is not only greatly appreciated by our neighbouring communities, it is greatly appreciated by your university. Throughout your time at Bristol, you have been a credit to the university, the city, and the local community. You are about to start on a whole new phase of your life. Good luck with everything you will do next and for the rest of your life afterwards. But do not forget the University of Bristol and the good times you have had here. Keep in contact. You will always be welcomed back. Now, as Chancellor, I'm expected to offer some general advice to the new graduates. It is daunting. And in thinking about this, I'm always reminded of Oscar Wilde's thoughts about advice. He said, "The only thing to do with good advice is to pass it on. It is never of any use to oneself." But despite that, I will say a few things. The first is to recommend that you keep your curiosity. Curiosity is a feature of youth, but can diminish as you get older. Resist this. Remain curious. The world is a wonderful place. It is endlessly interesting. It will enchant you all your life should you remain interested in it. I agree with the historian George Trevelyan, who said about curiosity, "Disinterested intellectual curiosity is the lifeblood of real civilization." The second thing is to tell you to be an enthusiast, embrace causes, pursue your interests, care about the world and the people around you. When necessary, be passionate about these things. Do not let the grass grow under your feet. Get on with things. As Horace said in the 1st century BC, carpe diem. While we are talking, time is fleeing. Seize the day. My third piece of advice: keep a sense of humour. There is a danger, whilst being intensely curious, passionate and enthusiastic, that you start to take yourself too seriously. Do not forget to laugh, especially at yourself. One of the best anecdotes to the downs in life, and you will have such downs, is humour. A day without laughter is a day wasted. Well, this is my advice for you. But do not forget what the great British scientist Max Perut said about advice after a similar speech to this. One final word: never follow the advice of your elders. Good luck to you all in all your futures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Paul. Really sage advice. Thank you. So we're mindful that we can't fully understand what it has felt like to be finishing your studies in these circumstances. So we're really pleased to have one of your peers who will give some reflections on behalf of you all. Your university career would have been about hard work and academic achievement, but it'll also be about the friendships and relationships you've made along the way that have supported you. I'd now like to hand over to Sebastian Key, one of our final year students who's just been awarded a BSc in psychology and is now 1 month into working as an elected undergraduate education officer at the Student Union. Sebastian.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you, or not, but nice to be with you online. I'm not, like Paul, going to be in the place to offer anybody advice because I don't have enough experience in my time. So I'm just going to talk about what this year's been like and why it's been kind of jokes. To starters, I want to say I'm incredibly hot and sweaty, and big praise to Paul for managing to wear a jumper there. So I'm not just going to talk about what an unprecedented and crazy year it's been, but I want to just mention some of the things I've been thinking about this year of why it's been a reason to celebrate or at least contemplate things and smile before going forward into our future lives. This year's been difficult with spending time with people, and there's been a lot more time by yourself. And so I suppose that's been a really rich thing for me to realize that I really value interactions that I have with certain friends and family because they have been taken away in a certain aspect. So whilst there has been fewer in quantity, they are richer in quality, because if I'm only seeing someone for a week or so, I've really put my all into that time spent with them. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. I've never been so excited to go and get a takeaway coffee, as sad as that sounds, but that's certainly true. And by nature, I am an absolute enthusiast about bread and running, and it's been absolutely hilarious for me to watch everybody else jump on that craze, especially on Instagram. Additionally, I started wild swimming, as so many other people, I hope some other people out there would have done. And I can say, if anyone's considered it, the first time you go, you'll regret it. But after that, it gets a lot better, so you should. So I suppose what I'm trying to touch on here is, now that we've graduated and there's a life filled with possibility, and so many people have plans and other people are still forming plans into a sort of world of freedom and everything being available and possible, I suppose it's been good to take some time to remember the things that we take for granted on a daily basis, such as meeting new people in a sociable life and being able to buy whatever we want when we want. So it's cool to celebrate the things worth celebrating, such as getting a degree from a computer desk for most of it. And it's not ideal. I mean, some of the things I've missed so much about lecture halls is watching people walk out halfway through. On a Zoom call, I suppose it's all too easy to simply hang up and not have to face the walk of shame as you turn your back on the lecture and march out. I mean, big respect to anyone who did that. I never had that kind of confidence. Equally, some fun stuff does happen online, although I probably won't allude to that now in case I commit a similar error. But I will say, big shout out to the people who created Zoom. The ability to turn your camera off and lie in bed during a seminar has been beautiful. So exam season this year was pretty tough. I found myself caught in the monotony of it all and the routine every day, kind of wishing to go back to the lockdown days of just sitting around on 2 p.m. on a Tuesday as if it was a 6 p.m. on a Friday, because it may as well have been. However, we made it through what was a very weird time, and it was all right. I hope for everyone it was quite all right. And collectively, even though it feels isolated, we were able to do it. And I hope everyone feels that they are happy with what they and achieved what they were hoping for. So seriously, it is nice and lovely, and there are reasons to be glad. And even though this is not the totality or end of the celebration, I think that when there's still so much to be unknown about the future, I think it is necessary to sit back and smile, buy yourself some random clothes or food, depending on what you are into, and simply do it because you want to and deserve it. I'll be seeing you all next year at the proper and real and fun graduation, when we can hug and jump around like children in gowns excitably. But for now, congratulations everyone. Go and eat lots of carbs to celebrate. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Sebastian. So your time at the University of Bristol has been a rich and varied one. The staff that have taught you, the professional services staff that have supported you, and the wider city will all have shaped part of the experiences, your experiences with us, including the coffee shops that Sebastian was talking about. But there are many more people in this that are in this event today that would like to wish you well, and we'll see a few of them in this film.
Well, congratulations to the class of 2021. This has been a really difficult year for us all, but hopefully it's the year that you'll be able to celebrate because of your achievements. You've shown tremendous grit and determination, and we're really proud of you.
The highlight of my course would be the people on my course. Everyone was really welcoming and friendly.
The friends I've made on this course that I would never have met otherwise has, just been the best experience.
A lot of the people I met in first year are still really good friends today.
The best thing about living in this city is it's potentially the best student city in the UK. There's so many things to do, from food to bars to pubs to clubbing, and at the same time you get top quality education.
Some of my favourite places in Bristol are all the parks, like Downs, Ashton Court. I really love them, they're really vibrant spaces.
Castle Park is such a nice and pretty place.
Cabot Tower.
St Nick's Market.
Harbourside, because it's really nice to go down there and relax after a long day of studying in Wills Memorial.
When I talk to people about Bristol, they talk to me about a city that's buzzing, that's vibrant, that's alive and exciting. And I think that is in no small part because we're a university city. It's because of what you've all brought to the city of Bristol. You're part of it, you're part of our city story, and I thank you for that.
Congratulations, class 2021.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we hope to see you soon.
All the best for the future. You've been brilliant.
Huge congratulations to getting to the end of what has been a crazy year.
Congratulations to everyone. And if you're sticking around Bristol, looking forward to see you come down here.
Congratulations, guys. Graduated. Very good. We are hiring.
I know that many of you have supported our city over the last 18 months as volunteers, and I just want to say thank you all very much for all of the work that you have done.
I've discovered the world of volunteering here. There's so much opportunity to volunteer in Bristol, it's unbelievable.
You'll always be part of this city, so for those of you that are leaving us, don't forget us, and please come back soon.
Huge congrats, class of 2021. I'm super proud of all of you. I can't wait to see all the amazing things we'll go out and do, and go out and be great.
My message for the class of 2021 is congratulations, guys. It's been a hard year. I'm looking forward to seeing you out and about and going back to normality.
Congrats, guys. It's been such a tough year, but we've done it.
Whatever you do, just stay relentless.
So, although the last year has been incredibly difficult, there is good news, and that is you are going into a world in flux, into a world that's changing, and I think you therefore have the potential to have more impact and make more of a difference than perhaps any of the other graduating classes did before you.
The world needs your talents, the world needs your qualification, and Bristol has given you the best possible start in that regard. So go out there and make the most of it.
Congratulations!
Congratulations,
class of 2021.
So congratulations again, and well done. You've earned your success, and we're very proud of you.
Well done, guys. Top job at Bristol Uni. Congratulations.
Great. So it's now time for us to hear from a very special speaker. We're very lucky to have one of our own alumni join us today, Riya Singhal. Riya Mazumdar Singhal is the founder and chief executive officer of Ecoware, India's first and largest sustainable packaging company. By founding Ecoware, Riya created a new packaging paradigm in India that recognized a natural, eco-friendly and easily affordable alternative to commoditized single-use plastics. She was awarded the Nari Shakti Puraskar, the country's highest civilian honor for women, by the President of India. She is the young global leader of the World Economic Forum, an Asia 21 young leader of the Asia Society, and an Impact Hero 2021 of the Earth Company. Riya is the chairperson of the Northern region of the Indian Women Network and invited member of 2 national industry committees promoting clean air and women empowerment. She is a global thought leader on climate change and inclusive growth. One of Riya's passions is to engage actively with the student community and present Ecoware as a profitable and scalable business with a triple bottom line. Riya has been invited as a mentor, judge and role model to several leading universities such as Ashoka, Shiv Nadar, University of Delhi and the Indian Institute of Technology at Mumbai and Mandi. Prior to founding Ecoware, Riya was a senior sales executive at Pfizer Incorporated and has studied at Oxford, Harvard, and the University of Bristol, where she graduated with a BSc in pharmacology in 2004. Riya, we really are honoured to have you today with us, and I'd like to hand over to you to address our life science students. Thank you.
Sorry, there we go. Thank you very much for the warm introduction and a reminder that I need to shorten that bio for sure. But good afternoon, everyone, and greetings from a very warm and very humid New Delhi. I want to start by saying a huge congratulations to all of you on your achievement, and I'm honoured to be a part of your celebration. I want to share my journey with you today, and I hope that there are things that you can take away that will help you as you set out on this next phase of your lives. So, as mentioned, I had the opportunity to study pharmacology at the University of Bristol, and I graduated in 2004. I'm not going to lie, I found the research aspect of my degree extremely hard. I found my degree hard, and it made me think about the kind of roles that I would prefer when I finally headed out into the working world. And I started learning things that I enjoyed, skills that I enjoyed and I wanted to develop, and things that I did not enjoy. The biggest learning for me in my 4 years was that there are some things that you have to do, and you have to have the grit and the resilience to get through. And ultimately, you have to complete something that you've started. So I graduated in 2004, and I went out to work at Pfizer in the UK for about 5 years post my graduation. And for me, that was transformational. I realized that I was the kind of person that preferred to learn on the job versus out of a textbook. I identified professional values that I found that were important to me, and ultimately leadership skills that motivated me and inspired me to also be a good leader. I did really well. I was one of the top performers in the UK, and I had an immense amount of financial stability. And I am fortunate to, 11 years later, still work with some of the business directors that I had the opportunity to work with when I was at Pfizer. However, in 2009, my husband and I had to relocate to India. He was an investment banker, and at the time, subprime rocked our world, and not in a very good way. Well, rocked the financial world at least. I had zero experience of living in India. I had never lived in India. I had never worked in India. But I thought, hey, let's do this. And for some reason, I was really confident that I would be able to find a job and carry on with my career just where I left off. Don't ask me where this confidence came from. But that wasn't the case. So when I got here, no one cared for my experience. No one cared for what I achieved, to even look at my CV, unless I had an MBA. And that included Pfizer in India. And so I spent 3 weeks studying for a GMAT exam, which is the entrance exam that you give to get into an MBA program. And I realized I absolutely hated it. It killed me from within, and this is just not something I wanted to do. And I think that was the point that I decided to become an entrepreneur. I was 27 in a country, in a city I knew absolutely nothing about, but I decided this was it and I was going to work for myself. And I started EcoWare in May 2009, and it was honestly it started as a bit of an experiment. It was only me in the first year. In 2010, I commissioned our first production unit. I hired a team, and we were about 20 people. And EcoWare was founded on 3 guiding principles. So it was one that safety was paramount, right? So we didn't want to harm the environment. We wanted people to eat safely. The second thing was that I was very clear that we're a purpose-driven organization and we had to create impact in everything that we did. And third was authenticity. So I wanted to make sure that we stood out from the immense amount of greenwash that exists out there. And what we do in EcoWare is we take sugarcane fiber and we, through a thermoforming process, convert it to packaging, predominantly for the food and beverage industry, thereby displaces single-use plastic. It's completely biodegradable, it's completely compostable, it doesn't change the nutritional value of the food that you put in it. And unlike single-use plastic, it's not going to sit in a landfill and outlive you forever. And that was how, the purpose and how EcoWare started, and that's what it is. And funnily enough, the first day I started working and I went out and registered my company and the trademark, GlaxoSmithKline called me and offered me a job and said, we don't need an MBA and we're really impressed by who you are and, there's a job that you wanted. And I probably reconsidered for about all of 20 seconds and I thought, should I, shouldn't I? And I thought if I wasn't going to take this risk now, I don't think I would have ever decided, I would never pursued the entrepreneurial life. So I stuck to my decision. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. In 2013, I realized that, so about 4 years into the journey, I realized that we'd created a demand that we couldn't keep up with, and this was no longer an experiment. My husband joined the organization at that time, and then that was sort of our first massive growth phase for us, where we went from 20 people to 100 people team. We went from 3 products to more than 30 products, and we thought this is the future and this is it. And we really had our skin in the game. And I'm really proud of where we are today. We are present across India. We work with 16 countries globally. We've just launched in the UK as of 2 weeks ago. But more than anything, I'm really proud of the impact that we've created. 100% of our revenue is derived from a circular economy model. We've displaced over 300 million pieces of single-use plastic in our entire existence over 11 years. I'm really proud of improving the role of women in manufacturing, and I'm proud to say that 30% of our team are women. And as we scale, I think one of the biggest things is that we're going to scale our impact. I have to be honest. I mean, when I started out on this journey 11 years ago, I never thought, I didn't know what was going to become of this. I never thought the organization would become as big as it is, or that we would have received the recognition that we have for our work. I literally took it a day at a time, and I made sure I enjoyed everything that I did. My journey has involved a fair set of challenges. It's involved an extremely steep learning curve. But I have to say that learning has been the most consistent part of my journey. And, and I'm proud of what I do. So my advice to you today is, as you set out with your degrees in hand, is one, your degree does not define you. I studied pharmacology. I'm now an entrepreneur that works in sustainability. Your experiences are the ones that define you. Please make sure that you learn from each one of your experiences and you evolve, because that's what's going to prepare you for the next big thing that's out there waiting for you. Second, if you don't know, ask. I understand that some situations can be really intimidating and some of us shy away, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So you must ask. Keep connected to the university and the alumni network. I welcome you to the other side now. And there's so much that you can get from this network and give back. So please make sure that you are in touch. And finally, you are in a position where you can make a difference. You are the future, you are our future, and we need your drive and innovation now more than ever. So find your purpose and go out there and create your impact. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and really wise words. And welcome back after so many years. I've read about you, and it's really nice your experience. Thank you so much. So, Ria, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a few questions that have been coming in, if you're happy to answer them. The first is from Theo in biochemistry. What is a particular area of interest in terms of sustainability that you would like to see concentrated efforts in solving?
Sorry, could you repeat that? What particular areas?
What particular area of interest in terms of sustainability do you think we need to concentrate more in solving? You've obviously spent a huge amount of effort in packaging, recyclable packaging and biodegradable packaging. Is there another area that you think that we can really start to focus on to crack?
Look, I think that, so let's define sustainability, right? Because I think it's a term that's very loosely used. For me, sustainability is intergenerational well-being. So it's about our generation meeting our needs without compromising future generations. And I feel that now sustainability needs to be seen as an opportunity across the board. I'm always very open about the fact that as a business, your consumers are changing. The consumers aren't my parents; they're going to be my kids, the Greta Thunbergs of the world, who question everything, who have the most immense amount of knowledge, and are so well connected. And as a business, are you prepared to sell to this consumer? And I think that also, whether as a stakeholder now, whether you are a CEO, whether you are an investor, whether you are an entrepreneur, a business that has a sustainable business model will always have more value than one that doesn't, especially going forward. And I think that at the rate at which climate change is accelerating, I don't think there is just one particular sort of point of focus. I think that it's all interconnected, whether you're looking at plastic pollution, whether you're looking at air pollution, whether you are looking at biodiversity. And I think we've got to make a concentrated effort, a concerted effort across the board. So I think that whatever you're doing, sustainability should be at the core, and it must be seen as an opportunity to make a difference.
Fantastic, thank you. Another question that's come in is, what is your key to staying motivated through all of this? How do you keep going?
Oh wow, that's really funny that you asked me that today. I think that ultimately you have to have clarity of your purpose and vision. As an entrepreneur, I think it can be a very lonely journey. There are days where, very honestly, I have had to walk away from a fundraise, or things haven't gone the way I expected, be it big or small, and I have to move on. I have an entire team of 120 people that rely on me, and my team motivates me. And I draw a lot of strength from them. It is, again, I go back to the impact that we've created, and that's something that I'm really proud of, and I want to do more. But I think ultimately it also links to your vision, it links to your purpose, and what it is that you set out to achieve. So I think that you've got to have clarity around that. And because having gone from a large organization like Pfizer, when you've done really well and you've got, a gala dinner and 2,000 people clapping for you and all the rest of it, to being an entrepreneur where if you've done a good job, great, you pat yourself on the back, and if you haven't, you pick yourself up and you move on. So you've got to find, like I said, the purpose, and that's what's going to motivate you.
And do you think that your degree in pharmacology helped you? If you didn't do a degree in pharmacology, but you did a degree in a non-life science subject, would you have ended up doing the same thing, do you think? Or did that sort of help define who you were?
I think it helped define me. Like I mentioned, I did find my degree really hard. It wasn't, I'm a people person. I like to be sort of more customer facing, or sort of the front end of the business, even now. And that wasn't how my degree was. I spent a lot of time in the labs. I spent a lot of time doing research, and it was something I did not enjoy. But what I did learn, like I said, is that there are some things that you've just got to do. You've got to have the grit and the resilience to finish what you started. And so that was a huge learning and takeaway for me. And since then, if I've ever found myself in situations that I'm uncomfortable in or don't come to me naturally, I have more perseverance to see myself through it and complete it than walk away from it.
Right. And for our students going into a world of work post-pandemic, it's been tough in the business world as it has been in the world of academia and learning. I mean, what advice do you have for our students going into this new world post-pandemic, new working world?
I think that agility is important. I don't think anyone has a fixed path, and I think COVID has brought around even more unknown and more uncertainty. So I think that you've got to be open-minded, you've got to be agile, and I think the thing that could really just always help you is keep learning. Whatever experience you're in, whatever situation you're in, whatever industry you're in, have the hunger to keep learning. And that's what's going to help you.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I agree with that one. Okay, we have a question. What do you think are the most important things that people can do to aid in the fight against climate change?
So I think education and awareness is one of our key challenges, right? I think that across the globe you find pockets or niches of knowledge, and I think it's really important for us as individuals, as a community, and as stakeholders in a business to be the change that we want to see ultimately. So whether you are and spread the right messages and share the right amount of education. So it's something as simple as, if you walk into a coffee shop, can you say no to a straw? Can you reject a plastic bag? Can you encourage other people to do that? If you are a CEO of a business, can you make sure that your processes are ESG friendly? That you've taken the initiative to align yourself to a triple bottom line. So I think that we all have a part to play, and I think that we've sort of got to come together in our different roles and spread the right messages and practice the right behavior.
Yeah, and I think going into the world of work, there's a lot of people in the workplace who've not had the benefit of a life science education. And I think it is important. It is incumbent on us, where we have had that type of education, where research is at the core of what we do, to go into the workplace with people who've not had that benefit, to explain to them the evidence base behind this, because I think there's a real misconception there. So thank you for that, Ria. And maybe just a final question for you. What are your favourite memories of your time in Bristol?
oh God, that video brought back so many memories. I just thought, gosh, I really want to come back. And I haven't been back in so long. My favorite memories, running up Cardiac Hill. I don't know whether it's still called that, but to get to the lecture theatres, I think on a winter morning when you had the wind like literally just cut through you. So yeah, definitely running up Cardiac Hill. I think it was I was at Hyatt Baker, so Holder residence, the people I met. Wills was obviously like classic place to just go study, take a break, walk across to Cafe Nero. Again, I don't know whether it's still there or not, but get a coffee or have an extended break. But ultimately, I thought Bristol was absolutely amazing. I mean, I was fortunate enough to get offers from the different universities I had applied to, and I remember coming to an open day, and I absolutely just fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the place, and I loved the fact that as a student who is, especially for me, who's like a million miles away from home, I didn't feel like an outsider. There was an immense amount of warmth, and you felt like you belonged, and I absolutely love that. I was at, and funnily enough, I was at a few months ago, I was standing at Zara looking to pay for something, and there were, I think, some students in front of me talking about Fez or Dojo, and I was just like, oh my God, that brings back an immense amount of memories as well. But yeah, I think it's there's a lot, and I'm still in touch with a lot of the people that I went to college with, so I think that's fantastic as well.
Right, there's lifelong friendships.
Yes.
They're very, very much alive. That's fantastic. Ria, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Really fascinating. Congratulations on your success, and I know it's going to get even more successful, and all the best. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Brilliant to have you. Thank you. Good. So now we're coming to the end of this celebration event. Shortly, we'll be finishing with 2 student performances from the A Cappella Society, Bristol Suspensions, and the Bristol University Music Society. Following this, your messages will continue to be displayed, and the chat will remain open until about 11:15 when the event will close. After the performance, there will also be a short poll for you to complete, along with some important links in respect to the Career Service and the Alumni Association. So it just remains for me to say thank you for joining us today. We sincerely hope it won't be long until we can welcome you back in person to the university for your proper graduation ceremonies. Thank you to all of our guest speakers. On behalf of everyone at the university, including all faculty staff, it has been such a pleasure to have you on this journey with us. The university has helped give you the skills and knowledge you need to make a real impact in your chosen field, and you've heard that so vibrantly from Ria. We're sure you'll go on to do great things and make us extremely proud of you all. From all of us at the University of Bristol, it's not goodbye, it's a see you later, and keep in touch. Thank you.
Stick to the DEAT, get ready to write right. You were such a PYT, catching all the lights. Just easy as ABC, that's how you make it right.
Don't stop the beat, I can't control my feet. The people in the street, come on everybody and move your feet. Don't stop the beat. can't stop the beat, I won't stop the beat, go.
Everybody, will you feel united? Oh, sunshine and rain, everybody's laughing. Sunshine and rain, everybody's singing. Da 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 da.